Okay, so this is just a quick recap of our lesson on Tuesday. It is a nasty one, but I do believe you will be able to do it. Try and think about everything we learned on Tuesday, see how it goes, and see if you can get me a beautiful answer for this question. My hint is switcheroos, common brackets, maybe something else. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Hi, all the way to, hi, Jasmine. Just do it step by step. Just try and think about it step by step. I know like when you look at it, it looks scary, but try and think of it in sort of small steps and maybe that'll make it a bit easier. So see if you can break it up. I promise, I promise, I will go through it with you. I won't just, I won't leave you in the dark. I'm just giving everyone a chance to give it a try and then I will go through it with you. Don't panic. I'm not like ESCOM. I don't leave you in the dark.
Not like ESCOM. That was a good one.
Thank you for appreciating it. Okay, give it a go. I'm going to give you 1 more minute on this question, and then I'm going to start tackling it and show you where we could go. And a question like this would be about 3 marks. Ah, Bongi, welcome. We are very happy to have you in our class. If you're feeling completely lost, if you haven't done factorization in class, all of the videos are on the website, so you can watch them all. But don't panic about this one that you're seeing on the screen at the moment. We're going to be starting a new thing with factorization today called trinomials. Okay, let's go. So don't panic if you're lost. It's very normal, especially it's your first lesson. That's okay. Okay. So first thing that we're going to look at when we have a look at this question is we're going to say, well, this bracket and this bracket are really, really similar, but they're not exactly the same. And the reason they're not exactly the same is because the numbers are switched around. And so when we see that that happens, we know we are going to do a switcheroo. Okay. And when we do a switcheroo, we change the sign. Okay. We change the sign and we switch around the 2 things in that second bracket. Okay. So the first step is we'd have x squared y minus 2c. And then we'd have minus, because we're changing the sign, 16, y minus 2c. That would be my second bracket. Okay, now we're in a situation where we can say, well, that's cool because now we have a common bracket. So now we have a common bracket. And so we can take out that common bracket as a highest common factor. So I'm going to take out that highest common bracket. I'm going to say y minus 2c. And remember, when we take out a highest common bracket, we just look at what we have left. So we have x squared that's left over there, and we have 16 that's left over there. So that's great. So at the moment, we would have 2 marks. 1 mark for doing the switcheroo, and then 1 mark for taking out the highest common bracket. Now remember, these questions in your test, they will say factorize fully. And the important word there is fully. And the fully is saying that we need to factorize it until we can't factorize it anymore. So if we have a look at this part over here, there is still something more I can do. I can do difference of 2 squares. Okay, so we'll have our y minus 2c over here. Then over here, we'll have our difference of 2 squares. So that's going to become 2 brackets. That's what this one's becoming. We have a plus, we have a minus. The square root of x squared is x, and that's going to go at the beginning of both of our brackets, and the square root of 16 is 4. And that's going to go at the end of our 2 brackets. And that would be our third mark. Okay. Nandi, how can I help? So you should have got a little notification so that says that you can unmute. You just need to click that so that you're able to speak. There we go. How can I help?
Ma'am, I need help with factorizing, like algebra.
The whole of factorizing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so sweetheart, I think where you're going to need to start is you're going to need to have a look at some of the videos that we've made up to this point. So the ones that will be on the website so far are highest common factor and difference of two squares, and then switcheroos and highest common bracket. So all of this work up to here. But the work that we're going to do for the rest of this lesson is something new. So don't panic just yet, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, what is happening with this name here? We've got at PC. I'm going to go with Diana. Or is this, I'm not sure if I'm using, what name should I be using here?
MK, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, is this MK? MK, you always come on here as a different name and I never know where you are.
Oh, ma'am, it's because like I'm using my mom's phone because
Okay.
I'm on my way home.
Okay.
Okay. So my question was, is it wrong if I said because like the difference of two squares, right? I put the minus first instead of the plus first.
That's fine.
So the first
totally
bracket
fine.
has.
No, that's 100% fine. If you wrote the x minus 4 here and then the x plus 4, that's 100% fine.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let me see if there were any questions here. Would it be wrong if I wrote... No, that's great. That's great what you've written. Cool. Okay. Kamugelo, how can I help?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask if would it still be wrong if I didn't change the signs, but I switched the brackets?
Yeah, so that would be very wrong because it stops us from doing something else. So if we don't change the sign to a minus, then we wouldn't, then in here it would be x squared plus 16, and I'm not allowed to do difference of two squares on that because the D in dot stands for difference, and that's a plus sign. So if we did that, we wouldn't get any of the marks.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Let's try jump into what we are going to be looking at today. So today we are going to be looking at trinomials. Okay, now trinomials, they can seem scary, but they're actually really not bad at all. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to work with them, and you can see which way you prefer. Okay, so first of all, can someone tell me what a trinomial is? What is a trinomial? And then can someone give me an example of a trinomial? Okay, let's see. Amu, can you help us?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
A trinomial is an expression containing 3 terms.
Beautiful. It has 3 terms. Okay, and when we're factorizing trinomials, what do ours normally look like if we have to factorize a trinomial?
Sorry, ma'am?
So if we're factorizing, because 3 terms, I could have like 2y plus 4 plus 9x, for example. That's a trinomial, right? Because there's 3 terms. But I can't factorize that. What does a factorizable trinomial look like?
Oh, ma'am, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll hand on to the next person to give it a try. Thank you for your first answer. Tiana, can you tell us what it would look like?
Ma'am, I think it would look like maybe a bracket y negative 2x in a closed bracket, and in an open bracket x to the power of 2 plus 3xy, and then plus 4 closed bracket in another third bracket, maybe.
But I liked the answer, but it's not what we're looking for. Not what we're looking for. So I can tell you all that our answer will definitely have no brackets involved. No brackets will be involved. So if you're wanting to give me an answer with brackets, you need to have a rethink. Shamika, can you tell me what our trinomials look like for factorizing?
It will have like x maybe squared plus 4 or minus 12, and then you find the factor of 12.
Okay, yes, beautiful. So you were on the right track there. That was nice. Okay, so when we have a trinomial that we're factorizing, we're going to have something, well, in grade 9, you're really lucky because it's always just going to be x squared. You won't have a number in front of that x squared. Then you're going to either have a plus or a minus, and you're going to have a number with an x, and then you're going to have a plus or a minus, and you're going to have a number. So there will be 3 terms. That's term 1, term 2, term 3, and it would be x squared x and then a constant. Okay, so x squared x and a constant. You can also get other ones which are a little bit trickier. We will look at them when we get there, probably not today, but you can get ones where you could have x squared and then plus or minus something, and then let's have xy, for example, and then plus or minus something y squared. So you could have a trinomial that looks like that, but those ones we will get to when we're happier with trinomials and we know what's going on. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to factorize just a normal trinomial, and we'll see how that goes. Tando, how can I help?
Sorry, ma'am, I was going to answer this last question.
Okay, okay, no problem, thanks. Okay, so let's have a look at how we look at these. So, for example, I'm going to talk you through this one. I know some of you have done this in class already, so you may feel confident. You're welcome to do it on your side. But for those of you who haven't seen a trinomial before, I'm going to talk you through some steps here. Okay, so when we factorize a trinomial, we first have to acknowledge that it's a trinomial. So we've got 3 terms, we've got x squared x, and then we've got a constant. So we know it's a trinomial. Okay. Then we take this number over here and we look for its factor pairs. And eventually, in time, you won't have to write these because you'll just know them in your head and it'll just become something you can do. And I know that that sounds a bit crazy, but I promise it happens. Okay. So when I'm talking about factor pairs, I mean like 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12. And those are all of my factor pairs. I don't have anything else. Okay, so we write out our factor pairs. That's the first step. Then we look at this over here. We've got that plus 8. And we think, of these numbers, how can I get plus 8? And I could get plus 8 if I said 2 plus 6, that's going to give me positive 8. And so that chooses the factor pair that we want to choose. Okay. Then when we write this out, for trinomials, we always have 2 brackets, the same as difference of 2 squares. There's always 2 brackets. Okay. We will square root that x squared, so we'll have an x over here and an x over there. So we're going to have an x and an x. And then we write whatever factor pairs we found over here. So we had plus 2 and we had plus 6. And we have factorized this trinomial. The reason we know that we have factorized it is if we were given this question, let me just do this in a different color. Remember that if you're doing this in your test, you never write your check under it because then you go back to the question. You always just write on the side that you're checking. Okay, so I've got x plus 2, x plus 6, and if I re-multiplied that out, I would get x times x, which is x squared, x times 6, which is 6x, 2 times x, which is 2x, and 2 times 6, which is 12. And then over here, I've got like terms. And so my final answer would be x squared plus 8x plus 12. And so I know that I'm getting my original question, which means that I have definitely factorized it correctly. That's all we're doing. So Alvarez, all we're doing over here is we are re-multiplying out our answer to see, no, you don't go that far. This is not part of the question. This is just to check if you're right. If you re-multiply it out and you get the same answer as your original question, then you know you're correct. So if you finished your maths test early, let's say you finish your maths test like 15 minutes early, you can just take some time, do your checks, and make sure that all of your answers are correct. Okay. Now, the other thing that's important to take from here, and for questions like this, it doesn't really affect it, but it will affect it in some. And your teachers love to trick you with the ones that it affects you with. So something that's important to know is, and I'm just going to put it in here so you've got all of the information, that sign, if it's a plus sign, okay, it means that both signs in the brackets will be the same. Okay, and if it's a minus sign, it means that my signs will be different. So because that's a plus sign, it means that both of these signs are the same as each other. Okay, and they will always be the same as whatever sign is over there. Okay, so this is one way. So in grade 9, I find that the factor pairs is the easiest way, but some of your teachers may have taught you a crisscross method. So if you've done the crisscross method, please also feel completely confident to do that. That's 100% fine. And if anyone is uncertain about the way that they've done it in class, just let me know and we can talk through what you've done. Okay. Okay, so that is our first example on how to factorize a trinomial. That's our first way. Let's see if you can do one yourself. I feel like you will be fine. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on the board and I'm going to write one for you so that you can see it. So I'm going to call this, oh, my pen is very, very big there. Let's just make it a bit smaller. Okay, we're going to call this A.2 and I want x squared plus 7x minus, what do I want here? 8. Okay. So think about what I said here, that if that's a plus sign, the signs will be the same. And if it's a minus sign, the signs will be different. Think about that. Think about your factor pairs of 8. And then see if you can tell me what are going to be in my 2 different brackets over there. And once you have an answer, I would love for them to be put in the chat so I can see how we are doing. And if you're really struggling, please let me know. If you want to check something, let me know.
Let's go, guys. I feel like we can do this one. Let's go. It's just one little difference of the minus there, but I trust you guys.
I tried to unmute Watobe, but then I lost you. Wait, there you go. Go back again. Let me try again. Oh, hello. Oh, where'd you go? Watobe?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I don't understand where to start. I don't know where to start.
Okay, so when we're starting, the first thing that we do when we're doing this is the first thing we look at is we look at that constant and we get our factor pairs. That's the first place we start. Okay, so we have our constant and we write our factor pairs. So our factor pairs of 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Okay, those are our factor pairs. Let me get rid of this so that there isn't other stuff that you're looking at. Okay, now we're trying to get this number over here. And so we have to look at these factor pairs that we've made and we have to think, how am I going to get positive 7? I can get positive 7 by saying positive 8 minus 1. Okay, so 8 minus 1 will give me positive 7, which is what I want. And so inside our brackets, that x squared is going to become that x and the x, because when I multiply them together, I'm going to get my x squared. And then we use these numbers we found in our factor pairs, minus 1 and plus 8. And then we've got our full trinomial. So when you're working through this, the first thing you want to do is find your factor pairs of your constant. And then you want to get them into the brackets. Okay. Okay, Camila, how can I help?
Ma'am, is it okay if I put the positive 2 in one bracket and in the other bracket positive 4? Because isn't 2 times 4 8?
2 times 4 is 8, but the problem with that is that 2 plus 4 is 6, and we need it to be 7.
Oh, okay, thank you.
No problem. Kamakela, were you going to give me an answer, or did you have a question?
Ma'am, is it okay if I wrote x minus 1 into brackets and x plus 8 into brackets?
Yes, sweetheart, that's the same as what's on the board.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try those two. I'll put both of them up on the board at the same time. Okay, sorry, just to deal with the questions that are coming up here now. So if the sign that's on the right is positive, then both of the signs that are in the brackets are the same. And if the sign on the right is negative, then the signs in my brackets will be different. Okay, so if the sign on the right is positive, then they're both the same. If the sign on the right is negative, then they're both different. Okay, give these two a try. They both have a constant of 12, which means you'll have the same factor pairs. So you can use the same factor pairs for both of these questions. So first step, I'm just going to write some steps here for people who are struggling a bit. The first step is that we want to take our constant and we want to find our factor pairs. Okay, second step, we look at the pairs and we think, how do we get the coefficient of x? So how do we get to that number over there? And then we write out our brackets. Okay, I'm just going to get our factor pairs of 12 happening over here. Okay, Unati, are you going to give me an answer here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what factor pairs do I want to use for B?
Ma'am, 26.
Good. And what will they have to be if I'm wanting to get negative 8?
Ma'am, are the signs both going to be a positive?
The signs are both going to be a negative.
Ma'am,
because
didn't you say?
I said that they're going to be the same. So if this is a positive, they will always be the same as this sign. So over here, this is a positive. So my signs will be the same as that one.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll have in here x minus 2, x minus 6.
Ma'am, then can I answer the second one?
I think I'm going to I just want to see if anyone else would like a go. But thank you. Okay, so guys, yeah, let's just write here what this means. So because this is a plus sign, it means my signs are going to be the same. The signs will be the same, and they will be the same as that guy. So both of my signs are the same, and they're both going to be negative in this case. And if you wrote it x minus 6 and then x minus 4, that's also 100% fine. Okay. Okay. Have a look at C then. So it's the same idea. And if I have a volunteer, let me know. If I don't have a volunteer, I would love to go back to an RT. So let me know if anyone's feeling confident enough to give me an answer for this one. Okay. Jordan, what is my answer here?
Ma'am, is it x minus 3 and then x minus 4?
Excellent. Beautiful. Nice job, guys. So we look at our factor pairs. We say, okay, we're trying to get negative 7. So if I have minus 3 and minus 4, that's going to give me minus 7. And remember, this was a plus sign. So it told me the signs were going to be the same and they were going to be the same as that one. So both of my signs were negative. Okay, and then just as a quick way to check this with yourselves, if you didn't want to multiply the whole thing out, just check a few things. X times x gives you x squared, and -3 times -4 gives you 12. Like, that's just a very quick way of checking. It won't tell you that you're 100% right, but it will make sure you're mostly right. Okay. Okay, let me have a look at these questions. Tando, how can I help?
Sorry, ma'am, I was gonna ask
So that you need to, wherever your mic is, you need to speak a little bit closer to it because you're very, very quiet.
okay, I was gonna ask if the brackets, both of them are negative, right?
Yeah.
Then why is one not positive so that when we look, so that our answer can be wait, are we looking for a positive 12? Or are we
well, the end answer needs to be positive 12. So -3 times -4, that's going to give us positive 12.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Kamogelo, how can I help? Okay. I'm going to try and move down the list. Inkle, how can I help you?
I thought a negative and a negative gives you a positive.
It definitely does when we multiply them together, which is what we would get for that 12. But when we're plussing and minusing, it doesn't. So -3 minus 4 just gives us -7.
No, like a -3. Oh, I thought it was a -3 and a -4.
They are. They're both negatives. -3 and -4.
So the rule only applies when we are multiplying.
Only when you're multiplying.
Not in addition and subtraction.
Not in an addition and subtraction.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay. Nkateko, how can I help?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, is it compulsory, like, how can I say this? Like, you see, on our last question, which is C, is it compulsory to, like, do both of the brackets negative?
Yes, it is 100% compulsory. So this answer needs to look exactly like that. Otherwise, it won't be the right answer.
So, ma'am, does the signs count for marks?
Yeah, the signs definitely count for marks.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, for those of you who are not struggling, you're welcome to work on this question so long while I answer these questions. Okay. Tiana, how can I help, sweetheart?
Ma'am, can I ask, is there like a shorter way to do this?
So eventually it does become quite quick because you'll actually just start thinking in your head what the factors are of 12. So you'll just eventually start seeing, okay, well, if I need 7, it's going to be 3 and 4. But in the beginning stages, it does help to write out these factor pairs. But over time, you won't need to write that. And so then it will become quite a quick process.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Was there anyone that I didn't end up getting to? I think that was everyone's hands. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one on the right-hand side now. So for anyone who gave that one a try, let's have a look. So what we would be doing is we would be looking at our factors of 24. So our factor pairs, so we've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 6 and 4, and that takes us through all of our factor pairs. Okay, we're trying to find the number 14, well, -14. Oh, I'm missing an X. There we go. Okay, and so we need to look at these factor pairs and think, how are we going to get -14? Okay, and then I can see, well, if I made this a -2 and I made this a -12, -2 minus 12 is going to give me -14. So now I know exactly what my factor pair is going to be. So I can say, cool, I'm going to have x, and I'm going to have an x, and then I'm going to have -2 and -12. And then we just check that we're 100% right with things. And we think, okay, this was a plus sign, which means our signs need to be the same. They are the same, and they need to be the same as this sign, which is a minus sign. So they both need to be minuses. And then we can check, and we're like, cool, we're all right. Nice. Okay, those of you who are still struggling, please don't panic. It'll just take a little bit of time, but remember, Yolanda is there to help you. So just write in the chat, and she'll happily help you with whatever you're struggling with. Okay.
Yes, guys.
Nice. Those of you who got it right, awesome. Those of you who didn't get it right, practice. Practice makes it perfect. Let's give, oh, it's our puzzle time. Oh, it's already almost half past. Okay, this is a very, very, very easy puzzle. So for those of you who are new, the puzzle is just something silly for you to do in the middle of the lesson to give your brain a little bit of a break from what we're doing. Today's puzzle is exceptionally easy. I will be very shocked if you do not get the answer very quickly. So all you need to do is tell me what the last line equals. It doesn't equal 3. Yes. Yay, 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 yay. We got there. Those of you who are still trying, see if you can get to 15. Nice. I told you it was an easy one. Okay. So it's not a bad one today. Let's quickly go through them. The Pikachus that are at the top, there's 3 of them, and they need to equal 18, which means that each of them are 6. Can someone give me the name of our other 2 Pokemons? What's our second Pokemon's name? Do we have any Pokemon people here? You can tell me Pokemon names. Silence is telling me no Pokemon fans. Okay. So then, how on earth do I even say that name? Kotu? Okay. Okay, so 3 of those ones equal 9, which means that they each need to be 3. Junior, are you going to school us in Pokemons here? You just need to click the button where you can unmute yourself.
What is the value of Bulbasaur?
Okay, so that's our next line. Is that his name?
Yes, Bulbasaur.
Thank you very
6.
much. So they're each going to be 3. So 3 times 3 gives me 9, and 9 minus 3 gives me 6.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
No worries. So then we have 6 times 3, which is 18, minus 3, which is 15. Okay. You made it up. Oh, and then you made me say it out loud. Oh my goodness. Okay, the things have gotten hectic now. That's not Bulbasaur, that's Blastoise. All right. You know what, guys? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Next time, I'm not going to put Pokemon on. I don't know what Pokemon is. I'm going to leave it out. Okay. I only know that that's Pikachu because of the Pikachu movie. That's it. That's the only reason. Okay. Let's have a look at the next one. So these ones now I think will be a little bit too easy. So let's start with these 2 over here. And then I'm going to write some on the right-hand side for people who are flying through them and would like a little bit more of a challenging question. Well, they won't really be super challenging, but they'll be on the same vibe. So just start working through them. And then as you're working through them, remember you can ask for help if you need help. And then we'll go through all of these together. And I'm just going to write some on the right-hand side for those of you who are working through them very quickly.
Let's do this, guys. Remember to always ask your questions and send me your try. What did you write on your book? And then we can discuss it from there. Okay, so I can help effectively if I see what you wrote and what you're struggling with.
Yeah. I know both of these hands. These are answer hands. I know it. I know it in my soul that these are answer hands. Unati, is this an answer hand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Okay. You can give me the answer to the first one, to 58. Wow. But you got but under condition you have to talk me through how to find it.
Ma'am, how to find what?
So how do we know what we're putting in the brackets?
Oh, okay, ma'am. So you put two brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get the x, the two x's, you have to square root, which gives you x.
Nice.
On both sides. And then since the last sign is a plus, the signs have to be the same.
Good.
And so, ma'am, now you have to go look at the factors of 2, which is 1 and 2.
Good. And that's our only option.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Well done, Inati. Very beautifully explained. Excellent work. Nice.
Woo.
Good.
Well done.
Okay. Let's see how these go. Keep them going. So, Konge, if you have an answer, you just need to put your hand up if you're wanting to answer, and then I can unmute you. Tando, how can I help? Is this an answer?
I wanted to answer.
Yes, give me an answer for G.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we open two brackets, and then we put in the first bracket we put A plus A, and then in the second bracket we have A minus 1.
Okay, so we're gonna have. So just be careful. If this is a plus sign, what does that mean? Both of my signs will be.
Oh, both our signs will be positive. So in the second bracket, it's gonna be A plus 1.
Both of our signs will be
positive.
Ah.
Oh, negative.
Yeah. So both of our signs will be negative. Okay. And then we work with our factors of 9. So we've got 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. And of those factors of 9, how can we get 10?
We say 9 plus 1.
Good. These two over here. So we're going to have minus 1, minus 9. Excellent. Nice job. Alvarez, I thought I saw your hand floating around here. Now it's gone. So Alvarez, you're going to do F.2 for us. You're welcome. Wait, where did your hand go? Unati is trying to save you, Alvarez. I see this hand up here. I know she's trying to give me an answer. Yes, absolutely, Amber. If you wrote A minus 9 and then A minus 1, that's totally fine. Okay. Unati, we're all yours.
Ma'am, so, ma'am, do I need to explain again or?
Well, sort of. So you'll need to tell me a few things. So we know that we're going to have an X there and an X there. What would be our next step over here?
Ma'am, since the last sign is a minus, the signs have to be different.
Good. So we're going to have a plus and we're going to have a minus. Excellent. Okay.
Ma'am, and now you have to find the factors, which is 1 and 36.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 18.
Yeah.
3 and 12.
Yeah.
4 and 9.
Good.
6 and 6.
Excellent. So which factor pair do we care about?
4 and 9.
Beautiful. Now, where do they need to go?
Ma'am, the bigger number gets the first sign. So 9 will get the minus.
Okay, 9, and then we're going to have our 4 over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. Well done. Okay, guys. So when we're looking at this, just think of your numbers. Think, okay, well, if I have -9 plus 4, that's going to give me -5. So if you just think about what that needs to look like, you're going to be fine. Oh, the factors. That's grade 7 work, Latabo. You have to get your factors right. Okay, let's start trying to get through some of these questions. Virginia, how can I help?
Can I answer G.2, ma'am?
Sure.
So factor pairs of 44 are 1 times 44, 2 times 22,
yeah,
and 4 times 11, ma'am.
Nice. Okay. So now what are we going to do from there?
We're going to put x from to the first bracket plus 4.
Yes.
Plus 11, ma'am.
Yes. Yay. Okay. So this is a plus sign, which means our signs will be the same as that one. So they're both going to be positive. And then we saw that the factor pairs we wanted were 4 and 11. Excellent work. Okay. Enkley, how can I help?
I would like to know if it happens that we get different variables, what happens?
You just write it as it is. So like in G, where you have A's, you just write it as an A instead of an X.
No, I mean like as in I get like for example, an a to the power 2 minus 10 to the power x.
No, then we can't do a trinomial.
Oh, it doesn't happen.
No, we can't do trinomials if they're not the same variable in all three or in the first two.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Virginia, how can I help? Virginia? Hello?
No, that was my hand to answer
okay. Okay, no problem. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's lots of people who want to answer the question, so I just look at the first name that's on the list from where I am. Okay. Unati, how can I help?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, can you ever get multiplication and division in trinomials?
Yes and no. In a normal factorizing question with a trinomial, no. But we will eventually get to questions next week where we have fractions, and when fractions are involved, there are multiplications and divisions.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look through the comments and then I will move on. Okay, why are we positively confused? Are we confused about where the 11 came from? Was that where the problem was? So, okay, so why did we choose the 4? Okay, so let's have a look over here, first of all. I'm just going to look at F.2 first. I'm just going to get rid of this so it's not in our way. So for the questions about F.2, we're looking at this guy over here, all right? So our factor pairs of 36 are on the right-hand side. We're trying to get the number -5. That's what we're trying to get. So if we look at these factor pairs, 1 and 36, I can't get to 5. 2 and 18, I could get to 20, or I could get to 16, but I can't get to 5. 3 and 12, I could get to 15 and I could get to 9, but I can't get to 5. 6 and 6, I could get to 12, and that's it. And 4 and 9, I could get to 13, or I could get to 5. Okay, and we know we could get to 5 by having -9 plus 4. That's going to give me my -5. And that's how I know that this is going to be the +4 and the -9. So the factor pair situation is just trying to find like a difference between them that would give us that number over there. Okay, no problem. This one over here, where people were getting confused where the 11 was coming from, let me just quickly jot these down again. Okay, so those are our factor pairs for 44. Now, when we look at our factor pairs for 44, 1 and 44, there's no ways I can get 15. 2 and 22, I also can't get 15. But 4 and 11, I can get 15 by saying 4 plus 11 that gives me 15. And so that tells me that that's the factor pair I care about. And so that's the 4 I care about, and that's the 11 I care about. Okay. So for those of you who are feeling a little bit uncertain, that's where those numbers came from. Okay, let's give another couple a try. I know we have to end a little bit earlier today because it's your quiz day, but let's do those two, and then I'll write some extra ones for you on the right-hand side.
Let's go, guys. Let's do this. And well done to everybody who's trying. Thank you for asking those questions on the direct messages. I see them and I have answered. So please do insist if you don't understand, okay? You're allowed to say you don't understand.
Okay, let's give these ones a try. I feel like I'm sure you're going to start noticing how much quicker they're coming to you now. You might not even be needing to write all the factor pairs out at this point. You might be feeling confident in them already. Jordan, I'm not too sure what I'm reading. Is there a reason you made them negatives? Inati, you can give me the answer for H.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go.
Ma'am, should I explain? Or
Yes.
can I just give the
Oh,
answer?
no, you can never just give me the answer.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, so since the last sign is a positive, the signs will be the same in the brackets.
Okay.
And then you look for the factors of 10.
Okay.
Which is yes. And then you're gonna use 2 and 5.
Why am I going to use 2 and 5?
Ma'am, because 2 plus 5 equals 7.
Yes, good. Okay. So what's going to happen inside my brackets?
Ma'am, you're gonna add the 2 and the 5.
So I'm going to have A plus 2, A plus 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful.
Ma'am, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask, when are we gonna be doing quadratic equations?
I think equations might be our next section, so we will be doing them soon.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Jordan, yes, there weren't any like terms because we weren't taking out a highest common factor. We were doing a trinomial factorization. Shanika, don't forget the 2. Your answer needs to look exactly like this. There's no deviation from this answer. It has to be exactly like that. Wait, why are these minuses now? Jordan, if I have minuses, then I'm going to get -7 and I want +7. Simpiwe, don't panic. Remember, you can always watch the videos on the website afterwards. So we are currently doing trinomials. We're doing factorization with trinomials. Ah, our new learner. Hello. Are you going to give us an answer? This is, hold on, I think you should have, yeah, there we go. Hi.
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Which one are you going to give us an answer for?
I have an answer for I.
Okay, talk me through I.
So, well, first I started with pairing the factors.
Beautiful. So we're going to have the same pairs at the top. Okay.
Yeah, so I got 2 and 5.
Okay, why are we going to take 2 and 5?
It's because 5 minus 2 is 3. Well, basically 2 minus 5 is -3.
Beautiful. 2 minus 5 is -3. I love it. Okay, what's going to go inside my brackets now?
Y plus 2 and y plus 5.
Excellent. Oh, y plus 5.
Because if you taking the negative signs, it becomes like a plus.
What you wrote here, what you told me over here was 100% perfect. You said 2 minus 5 is -3. So that needs to be a +2 and this needs to be a -5.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay, but you were so close. So close.
Okay, ma'am, I'll fix my mistakes.
Excellent. Great.
Well done, Konke. Thank you. Well done.
Okay, so guys, the thing with this one was that because the signs are negative, our signs were going to be different. Okay, and then we need to think, okay, I need to get -3. So I've got 2 minus 5 will give me -3. And that is how I'm going to get there. Okay. Oh no, why do I see someone who's feeling sad? Who's feeling sad? Hold on, I need to make my comments bigger so that I can. Lataba, why are you giving up? No. Okay, so Shanika, the reason that it's a +2, let's just quickly talk about that, is if this sign here is negative, it means my signs in the brackets are going to be different. I'm going to have one positive and I'm going to have one negative. If that's a negative, they're always going to be different. If it's a positive, they're always going to be the same and they will be the same as that sign. So these ones will both be positive. Okay. Oh, the factors. Okay. Just keep on working with your factors. Remember, when you multiply them, 1 times 10 needs to be 10, 2 times 5 needs to be 10. Okay, guys, I know I see hands and I'd love to take them, but because it's quiz day and we need to end, I'm just going to quickly go through the answers for H.2 and I.2, and then I'm going to leave you with Yolanda so that you can do your quiz for the day. Okay, so in this one, I am now dealing with y's. So for my factor pairs of 21, I've got 1 and 21, and I've got 3 and 7. And so I'm trying to get a 4, -4. So -7 plus 3, that's going to give me -4. So I care about this factor pair over here. And I want -7 plus 3. I've got a y at the beginning of both brackets. This is a negative sign, which means my signs will be different. And I know that that's going to be my 7, and that's going to be my 3. Okay. And my last one is I've got 15, and so my factor pairs for 15 are 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. And so if I'm trying to get 8, I want to use 3 and 5. This is a plus sign, which means both signs are the same as that one. So I'm going to have x plus, and then I know my factor pairs are 3 and 5. So a big congratulations to everyone who landed up getting these right, or if you even got some of the way, that's awesome. I'm going to leave you now with Yolanda to help you get onto the quiz, and I will see all of you lovely people next week, Tuesday. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye, guys.